Hello, hello. Welcome to another In the Studio. Today I have some fun techniques I want to share with you. These should work well in a small breakdown, a transition, or perhaps for just some general ear candy. So what I've done is put together a simple little demo here and applied some of these techniques to this melodic part here. I'm going to play this back for you and then I'll take all the automation off and we'll recreate it and I'll walk you through it in more depth. So here we go. Okay, so you can probably hear that there's some interesting stuff going on in this little 2-bar break here, so that's what we're going to focus on. So I'm going to pause the video for a second, and I'm just going to delete all the automation and everything that's going on, and then I'll recreate it. So see you in a second. Okay, I went ahead and just deleted all the automation and everything, so let's go ahead and recreate this. The first thing I did was simply cut out a little piece of this melodic phrase, so I just took this first hit here and I made that unique as its own sample so I can process it and treat it differently from the rest of the phrase here. And to do that, for those who maybe don't know, it's super easy. You just cut out the piece that you want and then right click and select Make Unique as Sample. I've already done that, so I'm not going to redo it. And then I just put this on its own mixer insert so I have further control, and they both have the same Harrison EQ and delay, but I gave our cut a little touch of the Valhalla room for this 2-bar break section here. Okay, so the first thing I did was I time stretched this hit here. So I'm going to select this stretch up in the top left here, select that little box, and let's stretch this out a ways. I'm thinking, yeah, about there maybe. Let's listen to that. I'm going to deselect the stretch. Okay, I think that will work. So the first technique actually is combining time stretching with pitching at the same time. So while we're stretching this out, I'm going to pitch it up at the same time, and the combination of the two yields some really interesting results. So I'm going to grab our cut piece here, which is this one, and let's create an automation clip for this, for the pitch. And we'll just start here and pitch it up over our little 2-bar break. Maybe give this a little bit of a curve, and then pitch it back down to its normal pitch when this part comes in here. And just a side note, when you're automating the pitch from here in the sampler, the range you have set will dictate, how much of a pitch bend you're going to get. So I only have the range set to 1, and it's currently pitched down, so it's going to be pitched up 2 semitones. So that's all I want for this application anyways, so I'm good to go there. So let's listen to that. So that's already pretty interesting. Combining time stretching and pitching, like I said, it's pretty interesting. And you could do the opposite too. You could shorten the sample and pitch it down too, which could be worth experimenting with. So the next thing I want to do is to set up a LFO So let's just grab EQ, and I'm just going to do like a simple, basic, like low pass filter kind of thing. And we'll control that with an LFO. So I'll just grab the peak controller, and I'll link our cutoff to the LFO, accept, and we'll just sync this to quarter notes. Okay, so the technique here is actually taking a synced LFO out of sync for maybe a bar, half bar, a beat, what have you, and then syncing it back up as everything comes back in. So let's give that a go. So on our peak controller here, which is set to quarter notes right now, I'm just going to right click and create automation clip for the speed. Okay, so I'll just copy this value here. And then what I'm thinking is, we'll just do kind of what I already did, but in the last bar here of this 2-bar break, we'll just pull this out of sync. And I'm going to speed it up rather than slow it down, I think, like I did previously. Let me give this a little bit of a curve. And then you could play with the different curve shapes, how far you want to pull it out of sync. But I think it sounded a little bit better, a little bit more subtle in this case. Something like that. But that could be really interesting, you know, for a transition or in a small break like this. Another option here is, instead of pulling it out of sync, you can switch the waveform. So you can actually automate the wave shape here. If you right click, it gives you an option to automate this. So maybe for that bar or half bar or whatever, instead of pulling it out of sync, you can switch the waveform to a random waveform, for example. And that could be something quite interesting as well. So that's really it. A couple just kind of fun techniques I wanted to share with you. Hopefully you found these useful. Let me know if you did. Leave me a comment or question, and I will catch you soon. Take care, everyone.